Batman the Animated Series versus Jinx the Animated Series in the comment section down below. Go! With that being said, there is an update on Arcane actually, and there was an update from Ghostcrawler on the development of the Arcane animated series, creative development and production during a pandemic. Hey everyone, Ghostcrawler here from Riot Creative Development and IP. Hope everyone is staying healthy and safe during these strange times. I'm here with some not so great news to share, so I'll get right into it. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we unfortunately have to delay the worldwide release of our first animated series, Arcane, to 2021. Everyone here at Riot is bummed. We were really looking forward to bringing you the show this year, but we need to balance our excitement for the story with the safety and well-being of our teams and partners. Our revised plan is to release Arcane in 2021, so stay tuned to our channels for more specific updates as we get closer. Creative development and production is hard, especially in a world where you can't see your coworkers IRL. We have video meetings now, which help, but they are no substitute for being in a room where we can really get the creative energy flowing. Combine these issues along with the technical difficulties of production at the international scale, and the problem becomes a lot bigger. Props to our amazing creative partner, Fortich, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, who has continued to do everything they can to keep Arcane moving forward. That being said, overall, we're pretty happy with what Riot has been able to deliver to you this year, despite the pandemic. We've shipped Valorant, our first FPS game, and a new IP, alongside Legends of Runeterra, our first multi-platform game. Hats off to the amazing teams working on these games. We really do hope you'll give them a try. We try to be as transparent with you as possible. I know this news is probably disappointing. We are disappointed, but Arcane is shaping up to be an amazing story, and one we'll share with you as soon as we can. So of course, starting with that, because this is something of a Jinx-centric channel, that's the news on Arcane for people that have been asking in the comment section on previous videos and also with just stuff period. The good news of this then is if it is delayed, there also could maybe just put more work into it. Not that a lot of work hasn't been put into it, but there might be the idea of, well, if it's going to be delayed anyway, here's something more we can do with something, and we might end up getting an even better product than we were going to get. So that could be like the silver lining if you're kind of like bummed, but you're like, hey, but maybe that's kind of could be, you know, possibly a good thing. That being said, kicking off the Dr. Mundo VGU. With the announcement of Dr. Mundo as the next champion update, here's a dev blog from the team with some early information. The champion update that goes where it pleases. As we mentioned in the recent champion roadmap, Dr. Mundo is up next for a VGU in 2021. We shared a lot of work in progress during Fiddles and Volley's VGU, and we plan to do the same for Mundo. Our hope is that by showing the direction and plans for the VGUs early, we can get more feedback from you all about what's working well and what we can improve on. This approach has gone well so far, both in regard to the feedback we've received and the reception from you all. So today we want to share an early look at our work at Mundo's update. Let's start by talking a little bit about why we chose Dr. Mundo for VGU and what our goals are. Honestly, one of the main reasons we wanted to update Dr. Mundo is because of how dated his visuals have become. Mundo sticks out like a sore thumb in the current roster of champions. We felt like there was a lot of potential to really upgrade Mundo's visuals and theme to not only look better, but fit better with how League's visual style has evolved over the years. We also think there's room for gameplay improvements to Mundo's kit. He has a lot of current things that work well for him, like its super tanky regeneration and the ability to constantly chuck cleavers, that works too, both of which you can expect to stay in some form or another after his update. Another major goal for Mundo's gameplay is to keep him a very simple champion. We want to build more mastery into his kit, but not the kind of mastery that will suddenly require you to have lightning fast reflexes, so expect his kit completely to stay pretty similar. With these goals in mind, let's hear what Mundo's lead gameplay designer, concept artist, and narrative writer, man, I can't speak today, sorry, have been exploring so far. A medical license to kill. Twin Enso Anderson, gameplay designer. Most League players probably have a memory or several of blasting outrageous amounts of damage into a Mundo, then watching as he goes on to kill your carry and walk out with more health than he started. Oh, absolutely. I'm carry. The extreme tankiness and regeneration are definitely things we believe are core to the Doctor's identity. And ultimately, when you play him, you should feel like taking damage is a problem for the other champions. Thornmail. Early in the process, we want to explore a variety of things we could do to ham up this experience even more. Our main goals are to 1. Give opponents more counterplay options against Mundo, and 2. Increase Mundo's gameplay variance beyond landing cleavers. And 3, and Knuckles, bring Mundo into the modern era of League without sacrificing his overall simplicity. We haven't landed on the final direction for his kit yet, but here are a few things we've tried so far. The first iteration we tested had Dr. Mundo gain 1 max health every time he was hit, and we soon after tried other versions of Mundo gaining max health by welcoming incoming damage. After a number of tests, it became clear that this was too much of an incentive for bad decision making. Players would often overcommit, intentionally position poorly, or seek out really bad trades, so we pivoted slightly to Mundo converting his defensive stats into, you guessed it, more health. After a couple items, his health bar became an absolute unit. However, with such a ridiculous amount of health, the champion and items that were strong against Mundo became even stronger, and those that were weak became even weaker. This created even more polarizing games that current Dr. Mundo, so ultimately we decided to stop pursuing this route. Also, let me explain that little line, because it's not the execute threshold for Elder's Dragon buff. We also tried giving Dr. Mundo really high regeneration all the time, but some of the damage he took would lower his max health. The line is showing his current maximum health, which would only make recovering on Fountain or on certain death. However, this contradiction the regeneration fantasy by making players feel punished for taking poke damage instead of protection from it, which is not a feeling we want for a masochist tank, Markiplier. We also tend to some stress and confusion around when to fight, when to recall, and generally managing your maximum health. Overall, it was too much for poor Mundo's brain to think about. Wow, okay, so we moved on to some simpler abilities. Outside of Giga health regeneration, we thought about other tools you'd expect from a Zonite mutant freak. We tried a few things, some not so surgical embedding and ripping out his cleavers, but the one we tested that was most chain reaction was, wow, chain reacting corpse explosion? Excuse me? Riot? Okay. While fun, ultimately this ability felt too zoning oriented and overall magey from what you would expect from a ripped melee top laner. Mundo having multiple tools to avoid going into melee didn't fit the character that he is visually, nor did it really encourage the type of gameplay we want Mundo to have. We're still in the phase where everything is super crazy and experimental, kind of like Mundo. While none of these early explorations felt quite right, our muscly purple MD will still be one of League's marquee mega tanks. We're super excited to share the early explorations with you to see where his gameplay goes, and about all the legitimate medical knowledge we'll be picking along the way. Throwing cleavers against a wall. Like Fiddlesticks, Dr. Mundo was one of my first loves in League. A trend is emerging. There's nothing quite like rushing through your foes, probably wading by the way, like wade in the water, your foes without a care in the world as their carries cry for someone to save them. I know, again, hi, I'm Carrie. I hate that. We started out with a big exploration, plumbing the depths of Zon for direction revolving around what Mundo is and what Mundo could be. This is my favorite part of design because we aren't focused yet on answering questions, only to ask, and even through this kind of wild dreaming isn't always practical, it can lead to unexpected sparks that inspire a bright future. Ultimately, the visual fantasies that are at its core are clear: Doctor and Mundo and Knuckles. And Doctor theme can be approached in many ways, and all of them could be improvements, so I'm really excited here. Mundo, on the other hand, is the quality of just being Mundo. Some would say it's indestructible, others pure purple, but I eyeball it as being an unkillable regeneration freak machine that maybe doesn't have the cleanest grip on reality. Yeah, that's probably true. Tone is something we're discussing a lot. Some say Mundo is a horrific serial killer, others a lovable dope, some even tell me he's quite handsome. We think finding the right juxtaposition between the comedy and the menace of Mundo will be the key. It's going to be a wild ride. I'm sure the design will go exactly where it wants. Doctor? Question mark? John O'Brien, narrative writer. Reworking Mundo has been a unique experience from the start. Often when we rework old champions, they are such bad shape that some of our changes end up being pretty drastic. On day one of this rework, we all kind of agreed that we like Mundo. So what does this mean for the world? So does much of the world, actually. Obviously, that didn't mean he couldn't be improved, especially visually, but everyone in the room felt he filled a unique space in our roster, one that didn't want to abandon it entirely. The idea of an unstoppable psycho who couldn't be hurt, combined with the whole Doctor angle, is a gold mine that we wanted to dig into. So the question then became, how do we make him more successful at fulfilling the fantasy of being unkillable Psycho Doctor? The next question I asked, exactly how stupid do we want him to be? We thought about making him an actual doctor, perhaps someone who was mad through his own medicine, but that put him in the same crazy scientist space as Singe. So we began to experiment with his role as a madman who did not, or basically wasn't a doctor at all, but someone who thinks he's a doctor and is too stupid to know he isn't. We realized that while we have no shortage of crazy champions, Ziggs, Jinx, and Kled to name a few, how many do we really have that are flat out dumb? Maybe Trundle, and even then he's supposed to be smart for a troll. So we really also realized the dumb thing works really well for a guy who's supposedly unaware what is happening to his own body. No matter where Mundo goes, it's been fun exploring the potential avenues for his character. So finally, what's next? We're planning to release Dr. Mundo in 2021. So you can expect the next dev blog towards the end of the year, once we enter full production. As always, let us know what you think. What excites you? What terrifies you? Why is Mundo the handsomest purple doctor of all time? We'll be reading through your thoughts and feedback as we want all of you to help us make the best Mundo possible. So, with that being said, that's an update on the Arcane series, the Jinx series of the Jinx channel. We of course had to report on that, and also with Dr. Mundo, maybe some quick thoughts of myself as someone who plays Dr. Mundo somewhat in the top lane. He's one of like the few top laners I go to, but I don't really play top lane enough to have a really good opinion. As an AD carry, I will say this. I think it's fine that he's kind of like that unstoppable juggernaut kind of a character. The one thing I want as feedback is please just, if you keep the cleaver, make the hitbox a bit more like a hitbox. So it feels like sometimes he gets a free opportunity to run someone down on a cleaver that looks like it clearly missed. If that clarity basically could be cleaned up, that's basically all I kind of would want out of a Mundo rework. Playing against the champion, playing as a champion, go ham. I'm pretty sure you guys will do a good job, and that's all I got to say on that. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.